I am not ready to say goodbye to August at all. To the point of I can't believe, like, I'm thinking back about what was happening at this time in my life last year, and now I cannot believe a year has passed. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of this year is just kind of lost to time for me because it was so much lawyers, so much legal stuff, so many, like, I would finish up a call with lawyers and be too upset to stream, right? I didn't want to show up on stream and say something, and I obviously couldn't really talk about why there was lawyers and why things were happening, and it was not good, and it was not good for a bit. And like I said, I'm good now, but I did not want to stream and be in a bad mood and be mean, and you know. And the worst part, do you guys remember? Oh my god, that one's gonna be annoying. Do you guys remember? Hold on, sorry. The worst part about everything is nobody else was dealing with what I was dealing with yet. Even if I did tell, you know, some of the other members some of what was happening with me, for a lot of them, it's like, okay, I'll keep an eye out. Or thank you for telling me, but, you know, hasn't happened to me, which I do not, you know, that's normal, right? And then at some points, I just felt like I was so crazy because every day there would be stuff with my stuff, right? Where we would be having lawyer calls and I would be getting ghosted and things would not be moving along, and I would be so frustrated. But I can't tell you on stream because I'm a for doing that, right? Like, how dare I? I'm breaking confidential things by saying, you know,
by decree,
just be more patient, you know, like they're working hard kind of thing. And even at a certain point when I'm talking to the other girls, right? Like, I don't also want all our conversations to be me complaining about. So it was a really isolating time. I felt really isolated. So I didn't want to just keep crashing out on my friends, right? And you know the worst part of it all? I think they could have maybe gotten away with it. I think they could have maybe gotten away with it, believe it or not. But yeah, it's just, I'm glad that things are changing and things are moving, but I'll feel better when I think more time passes. I think as more time passes, I'll feel better. But it's gonna take me a little bit, you know? I'm doing great. Again, I'm resilient. I'm getting through anything, but I still remember on stream where people would be like, oh, but you're good, right? I'd be like, I'm good with the talent. And people like, oh, but you're good with, you know, I'm like, I'm good with the talent. Read the side again. I don't know what else to tell you. And it's just, I'm glad that things are moving. And sorry, I have tears in my eyes. I'm just glad that things are moving, and it sucks that things happen the way they did, but I'm glad people see what I was dealing with, and I'm not glad that people are dealing with it, but it's just it's basically my word versus you know, the big boys. So who are you gonna trust, right? And I'm just happy that, yeah. But I think it's gonna be a while, and I know that I'll be in a better place. And again, like, I'm talking to the girls about a lot of projects. I have a lot of ideas for conventions and other things that I want to do. There's a lot of really, really cool stuff we want to do and a lot of things we want to try. But it's gonna be a bit. I definitely have a little bit of a shorter fuse at the moment. I have a harder time, like, bouncing back. I was telling Junie about this, like, usually if something kind of bad happens, I bounce back pretty quickly. And I've noticed I've just been having, like, a slightly harder time bouncing back quickly at the moment. So, but that's normal. That happens. Thank you, Road. That means a lot. Yeah, I feel like I talk about things on my time, right? Like, when the situation happened, everybody wanted, like, people to talk about it right away. And again, I'm working on a visa for the States, so I absolutely am not trying to say anything that will, you know, get me in legalities or anything. So I wanted to take my time with that and all this stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited for things to kind of even out and normalize, and for me to have a lot more stuff kind of like under wraps and things planned out and figured out. I can't believe, basically, this whole speech to say, I can't effing believe we're in August. I don't really understand where all the time went. And remembering, like, the months before, it almost feels like when I think back about, like, all the lawyer stuff because, right, like, I was getting into calls with lawyers all the time. I, you know, have a very big legal fee because stuff was going on. And that's another thing that, like, people aren't talking about, right? Let's say theoretically, in theory, certain streamers talked about being owed money. Theoretically, right? You have to remember that you have to add on lawyer fees into that. which are not cheap. And then you have to remember that, right, if you've had a call with the lawyer and you're finding out something really horrendous, not everybody is able to like shake that off and stream right away. Like not me. I take a bit to shake things off like that. So yeah, there was just so much like that we don't really think about that went into it. Oh yeah, sorry, we're in September. I can't believe we're in September is what I'm saying. I cannot believe we're in September. I simply cannot believe we're in freaking September. Yeah, it's been something. I don't know about them. But yeah, I am excited for things to move and change and develop, you know? But yeah, like I said, I do improves the quality of a skill gem. Okay, Beasel, I say this with love. Go watch Iron Mouse's video about VShojo. If you're curious. I think that's gonna start you off at a good point. I know you said you didn't know all this stuff and it's been all like when you have time tonight, my love, go watch Iron Mouse's video and you'll get a TLDR. I don't want to say anything even though some things have been said because, you know, yeah, there's a lot of this stuff that you know, we think about like, oh, it's a hard time, but it's more than that, right? Like if you're going through something and then you're not able to perform at your work the same way, if you're stressed out, if you're like I was really stressed out and you know, my family was there for me and stuff, but I wasn't very pleasant. I cried a lot, all that, you know, all that. But yeah, I'm still trying to get out of like being reclusive. I'm kind of the friend that always reaches out to people, but I felt like I couldn't keep reaching out to people because I was just so worried that I was just gonna complain. And then my friends were reaching out to me, but I was then worried that all I would talk about is that. So I didn't want to be the person that like complains about the same thing over and over and over again. But yeah. Oh, that felt nice. Thank you for letting me get that off my chest. I mean, you have no choice, right? You're just listening to my yapping, but I just need time to process things before I'm able to talk about them. I'm not somebody that is very fast with processing my emotions. I need a lot of time. I haven't really been brought up with knowing how to do that. So, and then also the legal stuff, right? Like I don't want to do anything that could jeopardize me coming to the States for conventions or me working on my visa or I really appreciate it. I really do hope that one day we'll be able to tell you more details without fear of, you know, getting sued and things like that. Then again, who knows? Maybe at that time I would have been so over the situation that I wouldn't actually want to revisit it and reopen the situation. I'm not sure. But one thing for sure is I am so grateful. Like I said, I think the reason I'm feeling so emotional about it today, oh my God, I'm actually gonna cry. I'm so sorry. Is because during the convention, so many momos came up to me during San Japan. Sorry, I'm actually gonna cry. Wait. Oh God. During San Japan, so many momos came up to me and just said like, hey, I know you haven't been streaming for a bit, but I understand. Like, I get it. It's been so hard and I get you. And whenever you want to do it again, we're here for you. And it just felt so, I felt so seen. I felt so like, you know, and so many momos were like, I love it whenever you do stream. I love it whenever you do stuff. Thank you. Oh, that's, hold on. I'm going to wait to do this boss for a second because I'm too emotional. But yeah, everybody was just so understanding and so nice. And people were like, hey, I came to this convention specifically to have a meet and greet with you so I could tell you how much I appreciate you. And it just, yeah, it was a really hard time. And I hope that one day I'll be able to go into more details, but I can't right now until more stuff comes out and, you know. Oh my God, and I just spilled my water. It means a lot to me, all the folks that came by just to tell me something so nice. It felt like so many people were just like, hey, we get it and we see you struggling and take your time, you know. And so many people were like, hey, we've seen you get through so much stuff before. And oh my God, sorry, the amount of people who said that they really admire and look up to my resilience. And I was like, oh man, why the did I name myself resilient? Now I'm going through all of this. I'm telling you, like, the convention today and Friday made me so emotional. No, Professor, you and everybody else did so much. Don't worry. Thank you, Daring Dad. You and everybody, hold on, let me go back just for a second. You and everybody did so much, and like I said, I'm sorry that I'm not able to talk about things just yet. Yeah, even though I had the support of, like, you know, my friends and my family and the girls and stuff like that, I still felt like things were so unfair and they didn't make any sense. And I was just so like, I felt really isolated in that because, you know, I told obviously, you know, the other girls and asked them to make their own conclusions and asked them to, you know, to get lawyers to review their contracts and make sure they get paid on time and all that fun stuff. But, you know, I will tell you this one thing. I didn't do it. But there was a few times when I talked to Giga and I was like, hey, I don't want to hurt the other members, but I would like for people to see my situation. And I was very close a few times. And then, you know, WB would talk to me about it and my lawyer, and they were like, don't do this. Don't do this. But I was very close a few times to just being like, that's it. I'm breaking my NDA. Here's all my emails. Because I felt like people saw a side of the old staff. Well, the old boss, I should say. I should not include staff there. And they saw him in such a good way. I had conversations in my stuff, and that was such a different person. And I was like, I just wish people saw this. But yeah, I mean, you never know, right? Like if this stuff goes further and let's say this stuff ends up going to court, I might have to, you know, show my emails and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm sorry I didn't talk about it earlier. I don't know how to talk about this stuff. And whenever I'm hurt or whenever I'm in pain, I deal with it alone. And then when I'm better and I'm able to like talk about it, seeing everybody this weekend made me so happy. And just hearing how much people care about not just me, but the other VShojo members, it made me so happy. And thank you, everybody. That's all I have to say. Just thank you for being here. I'm sorry for crying today about this. I think today and like yesterday, the meet and greet just made me so emotional. You know, then I had to talk with Oscar about some of the things I want to do with the girls and sorry, I need a minute. Yeah, it's hard to click these emotes. I wish one day, you know, I could tell you more about it. Unfortunately, if I do tell you more about it, that probably means that like stuff will have escalated and we'll be needing to do stuff. But I'm sorry that I'm taking a long time to feel better about this. I promise you I'm working on it. I promise you I've been going to therapy. I've been journaling. I've been trying not to crash out at my friends, right, about this stuff. But it was really, really rough. And I'm so grateful that people really stick with me. And I'm sorry that you look at some people like Michi who is able to go through something and then just jump on and stream for a whole month straight. That's not me. And the stuff that was going on with me that I can't. So I'm only now like getting back into it. And I'm telling you, like the amount of times I was like, I can't stream. I'm going to burst out crying. I'm going to, you know, and again, reminder, like I was so scared to just say, like, imagine like I'm streaming and I'm just like, oh yeah, Gunrun's not that good of a guy, you know, or like people like, oh, Gunrun, and I'd be like, ugh, like I was just so scared I'd accidentally blab anything or reveal anything about anything like that. But I'm telling you, like for a while, I thought I was going crazy. And thank God for a lot of the VShojo girls. Thank God for Limes. Thank God for my parents. Thank God for my lawyer, and thank God for WMB's lawyer, because I was like, I am crazy. Like, there's no way. Like, what is going on? I am like, I genuinely thought I was losing my mind at some points, because I was like, there's no way. Like, nothing makes sense. I was so confused, and now makes sense. And I wasn't crazy, and I wasn't wrong. Oh man, I'm sorry. I have to go blow my nose. It's full of snot. But yeah, thank you, Iron. I need a second. I'm sorry. Oh, that is such a cute emote. What the heck? I really hope nobody is ever in a situation where like that. I sincerely don't wish it on any of you. Thank you, Road. Thank you so much. And thank you, Vio. It really means a lot. I really sincerely hope you are never in this situation, Momos. And if you ever are, something I have learned, and this is so hard. This is the hardest part of this, and I hope you also get this lesson, okay? You need people
to make their own conclusions. And that's really, really hard. Like, just because I say something to the other members or I tell them something, yes, I want them to trust me and believe in me, but at the same time, I never want anybody to follow me blindly. Unfortunately, in my case, it was like, you know, if I told them something, old boss would tell them something as well. And it just felt like I wasn't getting through. And I felt so crazy. I'm telling, like, at one point, I didn't want to stream because I was like, I started Googling symptoms of like, what is it called? Like schizophrenia and stuff. Because I was like, there's no way that this, like, clearly I must be going crazy. Because there's no, like, I legit thought I must have been losing my brain. No, it was not by accident from the person, you know. Savers, thank you for the gifting. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm sorry. I like I said, I'm not good at talking about stuff when, like, I really needed to process everything. And I just also didn't want you to worry. I know that it would make more sense if I just explained to you where and why I'm feeling down and why I feel like I don't want you to worry about me. And I just know that, like, with my friends, because I'm somebody that, like, gets through stuff and does a lot of stuff, I'm very independent. When my friends worry about me, they worry more because I'm somebody that doesn't typically, like, get into trouble, that doesn't, like, have bad stuff, you know, like, and because of that, I feel like I always worry that people are gonna worry about me more. And especially for you all, I really was so worried that you'd all be able to tell. First of all, you'd all be able to tell I'm not doing good. And second of all, I didn't want you to worry about it and just be like, why is she not doing good? Did I do something? Is it, you know, is she unhappy? Please, just, I've learned so much. And I will say, though, I've been holding this in for a long time, and I want to add one more thing before I hopefully stop talking about this, because I'm thank you, Kate. Thank you for spoiling me. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Mono. There is one thing, though, I want to say that is really important, and it's something that I acknowledged in therapy, and I got really, really hurt this year. And admitting it does not make me weak and does not make me bad, and I'll get over it. I'll be a little bit off, you know, off my rocker for a little bit. I'll be a little bit, like, more, you know, bad, but I will. Yeah, it's fine with the map reset. It's not a big deal, but I will be good again. But wow, like, I don't want to downplay it, and it was really bad, and I will get over it, but it's gonna be a bit. I think it's gonna be a bit. Just please remember, Momos, number one, oftentimes people leave traces and a pattern of behavior, and it sucks. It sucks if, you know, things are happening to you, but they're not happening to other people. So it's hard for people sometimes to see your point. It doesn't, you know, not everybody is able to see, I don't know how to explain it, right? Like, just because you, like, let's say you and somebody got into a disagreement, right? But then your friend will be like, well, I still want to be friends with both of you. Like, it's hard. Not that's a bad example. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I understand that people maybe thought that it was just a one-off for me, that maybe people thought that. I don't even blame some of you online, right? I'm sure, and I know this because I saw the YouTube videos and the comments, and it was like, she must have done something wrong. There's no other explanation. She must have done something wrong. And I just kept saying it. And I know it sounds great to be like, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't break my contract. I didn't do this, no. But it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter because it's me versus public opinion. But I really just told myself, I knew, obviously, I think nobody knew. I don't think anybody knew about the charity stuff. That's crazy. Like, not, but I just knew. I just trusted. Like, it's hard to explain, but I was like, I feel so crazy and I feel like everything is bad, but I just have to trust that the way my situation happened, that things will keep happening, because there's no way that something like this is just a one-off. And, you know, then I started hearing that some other people had similar issues and things like that, and previous members. And I was like, I just have to trust. Like, what happened to me is unfair and it's bad, but I just have to trust that it will. And it happened. And it happened. And when it finally happened, I wasn't even able to acknowledge it and appreciate it, because all my friends and I were so hurt. Like, just to be clear, I'm not, you know, even though I had left a few months ago, I still am, like, you know, there's a lot of things that take forever. So even when it happened, I wasn't able to be like, so many people messaged me, by the way, being like, wow, you were right. Or like, I can't believe you said that. Oh my God, like you clocked this ages ago. You said that, you know, but I couldn't even appreciate it because of just everything and everybody. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for the gifted. Thank you for the hype train. I appreciate it. I think I have to go offline. I'm sorry. Allegedly, by the way. I know Bao said about it, but allegedly. I don't know. I don't know if it's true, right? Like, just to be clear, everything I'm saying here is alleged. I don't even know. You know, she said that in her video, but I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying that, you know, from what I know and from what I heard,